Okay, folks, so a little word on expectations. Expectations can make or break anybody. And there's a real strong sweet spot when it comes to expectations. Usually when expectations break people, it's because their expectations are way too high. And most of the time that is down to, a lot of like outlandish claims that that people make. I'm going to use weight loss as an example. So when it comes to weight loss, if you want to lose some body fat, generally speaking, the body's not going to lose much more than about 1 kilo a week. But yet there are a ton of, let's say, clickbaity, claims and advertisements for programs where it's like, go on this juice diet and you can lose 10 pounds in 10 days and things like that. You can do that, but it's not sustainable. And if you want to make progress long term, you have to be able to do something that is sustainable. So when it comes to expectations, that's where that sweet spot lies. So the expectation is not going to be, in that example, losing 10 pounds in 10 days. In a golfing perspective, you're not going to cut your handicap by 10 shots in a month, and sustain that. So you have to have those realistic expectations. At the same time, it's also really important to not accept yourself making zero progress, because what usually happens is someone will jump on a program like that. They might even make great progress in the beginning. It's not sustainable. Their progress will stall, or if it's, using the weight loss analogy, people generally, they'll do that, let's say that juice fast or whatever you want to call it. And they feel like crap after the first few days. And then they have, they eventually break and they put it all back on, and, these expectations end up, causing you to just bounce from program to program. And then when you look back over the course of, say, the last 6 months, you look at it and you're like, okay, well, I weigh the same, or my handicap's the same, or whatever. So when it comes to expectations, you need to set yourself targets that allow you to make steady progress, predictable progress, in a way that you can sustain, and doing things, incorporating these these actions into your lifestyle in a way that is not so unbelievably disruptive and intrusive that you can't sustain it long term. And if you can just make those steady gains, that steady progress, and going back to expectations, setting your expectations in that little sweet spot of, okay, I'm going to make this progress, and I'm going to give myself this amount of time to make that progress, and this is how I'm going to do it. This is where it becomes really important to have a great plan and a really good coach to kind of guide you through this, because once you can get into that habit, it's not that difficult to actually make that progress if you set your expectations in the right place. So before you start anything, when you're setting your goals, make your expectations realistic, give yourself a time frame, and have a real strong plan that is going to allow you to go from where you are now to where you want to get to over the period of time that you decide. And if you can follow that plan and make sure that it is a plan that you can follow, so that and that then requires you to, I guess, really kind of dial in your expectations. And if you can do that, then you'll always get to where you want to get.